minds are ever more advanced and ever more capable to decide what is good and what is not good culture. We in this House of Commons are servants and not masters. It is not our role to dictate from above what the people think, see, and hear, but the contrary. You see, they've got the org chart upside down. They think it's Prime Minister, then House of Commons, and then the people on bottom. Actually, it's the other way around. It's the people, and then the members in this House, and then the Prime Minister, which means first servant. That is how our system was designed. And so Conservatives will always stand for the common sense of the common people, united for our common home. Let us bring it home. Your home, my home, our home. Let's bring home freedom of speech for all Canadians. Thank you very much.
Questions and comments? Questions et commentaires. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary, the Government House Leader.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I find it very interesting the great depth and knowledge by which the Leader of the Opposition understands how algorithms work. I applaud him on that. I also find it very perplexing that he doesn't understand how a tag got into a YouTube video that affected those algorithms, but nonetheless, I won't go down that road, Madam Speaker. My question is more specifically about the Conservative approach to this bill. What we do know is that Conservatives in the committee process did put forward some amendments that would allow the CRT to do censoring. Those amendments weren't passed, but I'm wondering if the Leader of the Opposition can comment on, is it all forms of censoring, or is it just the forms of censoring that Conservatives are against? And I say this all notwithstanding the fact that I personally don't believe this bill has any censoring in it from the outset.
The Honourable Member for the Leader of the Opposition.
We oppose all the censorship in this bill, all of it, 100% of it. And I will repeal all of it. I'll let the people decide what they want to see and say on the internet. One example is that the government claimed that the bill would not affect quote-unquote user-generated content. That was, to say in plain language, the stuff that everyday people post on their Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and other forms of content made by everybody you know in our neighborhoods across this country. They said it wouldn't affect any of that. And they even put in an amendment originally in bill that said user-generated content is excluded, worry not. And then at the 11th hour, they reversed the decision. Because all along, we knew that's what they wanted. Exactly. This was never about protecting Canadian content. They admit they don't even know what Canadian content is. This is about controlling the people. That is what this bill is about, that is what this government is about, and that is why we will defeat this government and repeal this bill.
The Honourable Member for Saint-Hyacinthe-Bagot. Madam Speaker, to take this example put by the Leader of the Official Opposition, you know, with respect to the sun, if it becomes too difficult, we can wear sunglasses, use sunscreen. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition just delivered a truly libertarian speech. A discourse, a speech which talks about the people being sovereign. But he also talks about the freedom of the multinationals. Now, others do regulate the digital world. There are no cultural exceptions. There would be no environmental legislation if we were all libertarian. So my question is, what would the Leader of the Opposition say? Because we know Conservatives like to cut on spending for culture. If we want a culture that is flourishing, truly thriving, literature, film, television, what would you do about that? The Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition. Now, with respect to Quebec culture, it seems that he wants culture to be controlled by the federal government in Ottawa. This is not a sovereignist position. It's not an independentist position. Now, So he really shouldn't say anything about Quebec culture in that respect. Now, what about these big multinationals? Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Even when the legislation is adopted,